that don't have the app.
All right, so is this it right here?
Things seem a little bit in chaos here in the lair, people.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting ready to go.
Look, Tom.
All right, listen to it. Listen. Shh.
Yes. And then you would cut it right about there.
Well, just tell Al to cut it.
I want to do it live.
The audience is listening.
Okay.
All right, I've got that cute. You just got to point to me when you want it.
All right, that's what I'll do. Thanks.
That's all you got to do.
So Ryan, is that you with
You
the
don't got to
SG?
say, Tom, did you
Fellas,
got a cut that you
do
can
your
get?
standard line.
Nice.
You know what time it is? All right, and then the theme. So have it ready with our theme song. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
ready.
So can we fit a whole lot of Rosie into this podcast?
Give it, Tom and I and everybody a
You
signal
need to
when
speak
we're
for
rolling.
search of the mic. You need.
Give us all a sign when we're rolling on the audio portion of the show.
Hello, Facebook followers.
We got a big announcement, guys, and we can take your calls today. We got a good topic we're about to reveal.
Hang on a second.
I think I already revealed it in the subject line of the post, though. But
Spoiler alert. Don't
Let me
read
do
the
it.
subject line post, or you have ruined everything for yourselves and your future generations.
So I can get rid of this drum roll that I
Yes, sir.
pulled from earlier.
Yes, sir.
I will get rid of that right now. So thank you very much. All right. Hi.
Everybody leave comments about Al's shiny new board.
Bruh. Bruh.
Yeah, brah.
Bruh.
Brah.
Somebody's already tuned in. Let me see. who's
Well,
here.
it's probably
We're
some-
early because we
Mark-
normally are
Mark-
doing it at 3:30.
Mark has joined.
I'll let your friend Mark.
Shut up!
Yeah, shut up, everybody.
Shut up!
What?
Shut up!
That's you. So whenever Chance gets a little too loud and wordy,
Shut up!
I'm just kidding. Look, he's not smiling.
I'm trying to text somebody.
He's smiling on the
Shut
inside.
Shut up! Have that handy.
Next week's Podblast, we'll just introduce the bitch slap.
That's right.
Shut up!
That's right.
Hey, everybody, this is Tom's last pod blast. Give him a nice send off.
Yeah.
No.
Can you find a nice bitch slap noise?
Yeah, there is one here.
Maybe that's not PC correct.
Are we ready to roll
What's the
the
correct
audio?
term for bitch slap?
Everybody, we're going.
Well,
Honk slap.
I just want to remind you,
I hate
I actually
PC.
named the Nostalgic Pod Blast. It was my name.
Think about it.
So
Is.
sticking with bitch slap.
No, wait a minute, Tom.
Sorry, female
it was
listeners.
An accident. Remember, you typed in Podblast, and I says, "What is Podblast?" She says, "Oh, a typing area." And
What did he mean to say?
Typing area.
Podcast?
No, type in era because it's supposed to be podcast.
I don't remember that, but
Yeah, it is.
I just remember Nostalgic Pod Blast.
Now, you have a
Well,
text
I know.
message, right? Where that happened, right, Al?
Yeah, I said you misspelled it. It's podcast.
I don't
He
remember.
says, "Oh yeah, it is." But we kept it. Remember, I said it was
I
good.
don't. Yeah, I don't remember.
See, I thought Chance said pot blast. I was really confused.
Who's been
Pop.
using this
Well, the
damn
radio-
mic? It's got their
The
hair.
radio version is
somewhere.
pop because it's not a pop.
No, I didn't say pop either. I said pot.
All right, so are we ready to go here? Because we're sitting there spinning our wheels and it's almost 3:00.
Yeah, man. Let's get it going.
All right, Al, you ready?
Yeah, I want to make. Hang on.
So you're starting with the Susan thing first? I mean, whether you're going to add that in post.
I'll add
What
that
is the
later. We just
Susan
open
thing?
up with the-
That's what I'm saying. You're going to add that in post.
What is this?
I do all that post production.
She says this podcast is recorded before a live
Oh, yeah,
television.
okay.
What's the phone line
Studio
again, Al?
audience. Hey,
What's the phone line, Al?
y'all can call in right now.
678
615 75 what? You don't even know your own number.
678-615-7560.
I'm going to write that down because I don't remember that number.
I don't think anybody.
There's like a lot of
remembers
sixes.
numbers
It's like
anymore.
Say it again, Al.
618
615 what?
678. Wait a minute. 678
615-7560.
7560.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
are we ready to roll?
Yeah. All right. So everybody give us a call at 678-615-7560.
Well,
Only
I
if you're on
haven't
Facebook
started yet.
Live.
We haven't
Well,
started
if
yet.
you're on Facebook Live, are we broadcasting on Facebook Live right now?
Yeah.
So if you're on Facebook Live right now on Sunday, the 9th of February,
Wade,
you can
Steve,
call in
Mark, Jeff,
on
Jeff
678-615-7560,
Yep.
Hey, Jeff.
and you can talk
Jesse
about
Hancock,
and you can
Jesse-
talk about when you
Okay.
turned 18, right?
Yeah.
Chance?
Today's show is about the coming of age, turning 18.
That's right.
And that involves a lot of things like, well, we're going to get into it in the show. I don't want to
There, now I can hear him because you were picking him up on another mic.
Well, this I'm gonna move that over a little bit. Can you slide over a little bit? Because
Sure.
Nope.
I'm gonna take your mic.
Oh, really?
Just hammering out some technical difficulties here, audience.
Let's go.
See, potty still sounds like pod. Like you're going to the potty.
I don't think so. I disagree. I think it's brilliant.
I like audience as well.
Yeah.
Audience.
But it does sound I
Like
agree
a
with you,
podcast.
Tom.
I mean, I didn't say it was bad. I'm just telling you what it sounds like.
To you.
Well,
Okay.
maybe until we find something better. You know?
I can understand that.
It's all the pronunciation. I think if you're like the audience.
When you first revealed that on the show, got a big laugh from Al. He loved it.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh yeah. Al's a whimsical character. See?
That was not showing up on the page.
Can we start the damn show, please?
Al, you got me potted way to hell down here on this computer. I just want to let you know that.
You're potted up.
Okay.
It's
so
all the
make
way
sure-
up.
All right, so make sure it was here.
So, Chance, when we go live, if you want to go ahead and like introduce who's in the studio and do your thing and do the build up, and
Yeah.
I guess we'll just chime
I'll
in
take it.
as
So
we.
Chance, every time you talk, I'm going to beep you. Beep. If I can beep you,
No, sir.
I can beep the hell out of you.
It's like government censorship.
There you go. You ready, Al?
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at, Al?
I'm just looking. I'm trying to see it live on Facebook. It's showing. It's not showing it.
Let's see.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay.
For your little monitor,
Yeah, there it is. I see it. Yeah, there it is.
give us a cue when we're live or on the audio portion.
Did we figure out what happened that one time, like where the Facebook thing was
Yeah.
all pixelated
Yeah.
and jacked?
Yeah,
It's on this machine here, and I had
Sounds
stuff
coming
we
running,
in.
fixed it.
stuff running in the background.
Ah.
You know, it was.
It was too much
All right,
information
so-
Gummed
overload.
up. It was gummed up.
It was fully with the memory.
So- So basically, all you people who have dialed in and got the internet, you know, and calling in, call now, 678-615. See, we're dialing in right now, 7560. There's the sound. Okay, now everyone's dialed in now. We can start the show, Al, whenever you're ready. If this damn sound never stops.
All right. You can turn that off.
Well,
You can turn that off.
I would love to turn it off.
Are you guys ready?
Sorry, it's still going.
Ready when you guys are.
Wait. Okay, I'm going to make sure the sound was dead. Okay.
Hey, fellas.
I couldn't resist.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
You know
What
what
now?
time it is?
Well,
What time is it?
What time is it? Al?
Podblasters assemble!
Oh,
And of course, the theme doesn't start.
It is.
yeah, well.
Do it again, Chance. Second take.
Second take. All right.
All right.
Yeah, that was take two. Start. Stop.
And don't shout.
All right.
You're shouting.
Sorry.
You're
Stop.
shouting.
Al quit shouting.
Yeah.
Cut.
Take two. What time is it?
Can you say Podblast time without shouting? Okay.
Al, what time is it?
It's like, but when Chance shouts, he goes,
All right.
it's all red.
I won't
All
shit. All right.
All right, stand up.
Take two.
Hey, fellas, you know what time it is?
What time is it, Al?
What time is it, Al?
It's Podblast time.
Podblasters assemble!
Audience.
Hey, welcome everybody. I'm back.
Yes, where have you been?
I've been working. I've been doing other things.
Hey guys, we got a big announcement. I've teased it on Facebook. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, we're now on the radio on a big station, WTZA, Talk of Atlanta, 1010 AM and 102.1 FM.
Woo!
And what's going to happen is we're airing our past shows.
Yeah.
And you know what? I forgot the drum roll.
I know. I'm sitting there ready for the drum roll.
Go ahead and cue it.
Are you
We're gonna-
ready,
we're
are you
gonna-
ready for the
we're
drum roll?
ready for a drum roll.
Jeepers.
We got a special announcement, listeners. Chance,
Yes! We're on WTZA!
Yeah.
Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. and it's gonna eventually be a live show. So it's actually running this weekend, our very first Podblast,
Yeah.
and we do like a little live intro, but eventually we'll be 100% live. So we're really excited about that, and I wanted everyone in this room to have a toast because you're all part of this.
Yeah.
Tom is back.
Oh,
I don't have anything.
Well, that's too bad.
This is the second time you've not been prepared to toast.
Ow.
I don't have anything.
Here, you want some?
Here, hey, there.
Wait,
I think our show gets better each week.
I
No
saw some
fooling.
vinegar.
So I'm excited for a new audience to hear our progression. So, you know,
Well,
the radio people haven't met Tom yet. They'll meet him in week 3, and then you and
Yeah.
Ryan come along as callers, and then you join
Thank you for
as
having me.
regular co-hosts. So anyway, today what we're going to talk about, this is our 18th show. So I thought, let's talk about what it felt like, boys and girls, to turn 18. What could you do when you turned 18 that you couldn't do before? And that includes R-rated movies, which you could actually buy a ticket for when you were 17 legally. But of course, we all snuck into R-rated movies, and you know, we were all kind of privileged growing up. We came from, you know, upper middle class families, so we had access to HBO and Showtime. So like us, the Generation Xers in the room, would watch R-rated movies all the time when we were like 12 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, hello.
It's got loud.
So
Well,
we want-
I always remember sitting with Chance when we were like 13 and 14 and having like a healthy curiosity about what things that young men are curious about. And so, as Chance said, there, you know, this is before the internet, and we'd be watching Showtime, and they'd come up with their little, "This movie has been rated R for violence and partial nudity," and we're like, okay, we're totally watching this.
Immediately get excited.
So but we'd sit through some of the lamest movies for what might be a 3-second flash of skin on the screen, but you can always tell, like, you know, the music would gear up that it's like it's getting to be naughty time. And so all of a sudden we'd stop flipping through our comics or whatever we were doing and look at the screen like, oh, there it was. All right, wait till the next movie.
Now, to bring Tom and Al into the discussion, when you guys were 18, there was no R rating. There was MA, mature audiences.
Right.
It wasn't until the year 1969 that the Motion Picture Association came up with a defined rating system, X, R, PG, G. And then in 1984, PG-13 came around when Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was released, because there was a scene where a guy's heart is extracted out of his chest. You all have seen it.
Well, and eating the monkey brains, apparently that got a lot of people excited.
And the bugs, the roaches.
Yeah,
it was a
the
gross
snake
out.
open and all the other baby snakes came out.
So what year? Why can I hear my mic? Oh, there it
There he
is.
is.
What year were you 18? What year?
I turned 18.
Oh, you can't tell. You can't.
No,
tell
I can't.
Oh,
I turned 18
Oh, here it comes. Ow.
In
wait,
19
we need a drum roll about that, don't we?
in
We
19,
need a drum-
November
we need a drum
21st,
roll.
1988.
1988.
1988. By the
I
way,
turned 18 in October 22nd of 87.
how about you, Ryan? When did you turn 18?
Gonna make me do some math. See, I was born in 72, so that would be what?
Wow.
72. Geez.
Seven.
Yeah,
72.
just a youngster,
Yeah.
just a baby boy.
My
Just a
God.
baby boy.
And by the way, we know people out there listening in our audience, as we like to call our live viewers on Facebook. Now, that when this airs on the radio, this won't be the phone number to call in, but you can call in now with your favorite R-rated movie, specifically what we call, can I say this on the radio? Titty movies, booby movies, like
Well,
the comedies,
you know,
the
you know,
cheesy comedies.
Skin flick probably sounds
Yeah.
too.
And you know, and by the way, we want to have a public service announcement for the ladies in the audience. Danny, take it away.
Yeah, I was telling Chance if we're going to be talking about you know, naked females on the screen and want to be respectful about it. And my wife was a sociology major with an emphasis on women's studies, so I would not be doing my due diligence to say women, make sure you do your monthly exams. We want you all to be healthy, and we here on the podcast, Podblast, we support you girls.
Pop Blast is our radio moniker. We had to change the name a little bit for radio purposes so people know what the show's about. On radio, if you're listening on radio, it's the nostalgic pop culture Pop Blast, because it's not a podcast. Once we go live, it's radio. By the way, if you want to call in, this is for Facebook Live only. The number is 678-615-7560. Let us know what your favorite R-rated movies are, R-rated comedies that dealt with nudity, stupid, like think Animal House, think Revenge of the Nerds. But before that, I want Al to tell us what happened when you turned 18 back during the Vietnam conflict. Were you not?
You're making me age myself. Why is that?
But
Excuse me.
please, I'd like to hear.
This
That
might,
damn Mexican food you
this
ate.
might help you step into that without stepping into it.
I'll tell you.
I remember like really clearly getting the notice from Oh, the draft notice from the
draft
selective
board.
service. And it for me it was like really weird because up to that point, my dealings with the government, well, yes, I had a driver's license, I had a social security number, but that was about the extent. But when I got this in the mail addressed to me, and I got very little mail, and I wasn't quite yet 18. It was like a month or two before I turned 18. And here's this thing from the selective service with my name on it. And that was the first time I really became aware. It's like, wow, I guess the government really isn't paying attention.
You didn't have to register for the draft.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
I mean, you registered with the post office, right?
Right.
Right. You had to go down to the post office and register.
Right.
For the draft.
Right.
Well,
Tom.
There was no draft. It was the government letting you know that we know you were of age in the event.
All right. So
there would be a draft.
when did you turn 18? When did you turn 18? You didn't say.
I 87.
87. Okay. When did you turn 18?
1968.
Ooh.
What about you, Tom?
You're older than me.
And I got.
We have our first caller.
We have our first caller.
I turned 18 in 73.
Hello.
Nostalgic Podblast. Who are you?
Okay.
And 73 is pretty much when they stopped the draft. That's when the war ended in Vietnam. Nixon.
Well, the last bullet was 75.
I apologize, Tom. I interrupted you. What year did they stop the draft?
Well, 73 is when they stopped the draft, according to
We have a caller. You want to take a call?
The internet. Yeah, let's take a call. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Is this Jamie Chapman?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jamie. It's Flat Earth Jamie in Atlanta Radio Land. He's a radio superstar on WTZA. And he actually got our old station. He resurrected it. Him and Will resurrected 106.7, which Cumulus sold. But today we're talking about turning 18, and we're talking about R-rated sex comedies like Animal House.
Jamie, when did you turn 18?
I turned 18 in 1988.
Ooh, you're up there with
same year I did, Jamie. November 21st, 1988. When's your birthday?
April 13th.
Cool.
April 13th.
Just before tax day.
Wow.
Yeah.
A couple of days before. Well, what R-rated sex comedies did you like growing up? Because we're the same age, so you probably watched a lot of HBO. Do you remember the first R-rated movie you saw in the theater where you could either sneak in, or one you saw on your own when you were legally able to do it at 17?
Some of the most memorable ones I remember would be the Porky's movies.
Ah, good choice. Yes.
They were terrible movies.
They were great back then.
Yeah,
they were awesome. I loved them too, man.
What about Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Oh, that's the biggest.
That was a good one. But when did that come out?
Round of applause for Phoebe Cates. Yes.
1982, Jamie, is when Fast Times at Ridgemont High was released.
Come out in 82?
Yes, sir.
All right. See, I was 12 years old then.
I remember being in 6th grade, and our teacher, Mr. O'Leary, had just seen Fast Times, and he told us, it's just a filthy movie, students. And we're in 6th grade. We're like, what are you talking about? He went on a little monologue in class.
I want to go see it.
You remember O'Leary? And he said, kids, please don't see this Fast Times at Ridgemont High movie. It's disgraceful.
What about Revenge of the Nerds?
Oh, fantastic.
We've got Bush.
Yeah, that also kind of promotes rape in a way.
What?
Think about it. Think about the nerd.
Back then, it was any movie that was R-rated, where you got to see a little flesh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it was kind of innocent because it was before the internet. Like today, God, I mean, kids can see porn, hardcore porn, which is a bad thing, I think, for children, of course, on the internet. And so it's kind of innocent.
Access to everything.
What did we have, Jamie? We had Playboy, Penthouse, Hustler, and R-rated movies.
Yeah, but you pretty much see back then the same things you see back then on regular TV today.
Exactly.
If you think about
it. Because you have cable TV, they can broadcast it.
I'm just talking about the networks. I mean, they've gotten
true.
So risque in what they
like
allow.
The Bachelor. I me, I can't believe the stuff they show on that.
When the language.
You watch The Bachelor, Al?
No, I don't. But I'm
saying he watches it. He watches it every Monday.
Well, we were all talking about our ages here, and I work with a lot of younger people. And this one, I thought it was so sort of quaint to hear it. I was asking guys, what was the first time you saw nudity in a movie? And one of the gentlemen said to me, he was like, Titanic, with the scene with Kate Winslet. And to me, that didn't even register, because by the time I saw Titanic, it was like a young man I work with at a fully loaded pizza kitchen in Athens, Georgia. So shout out to Tyler for that one. And another gentleman I work with, he was mentioning in horror films, the first time he saw nudity was watching the original Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
The little girl that goes skinny dipping.
That's part 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually before that, Halloween Remember the girl See Anything You Like? When Michael Myers, he's wearing the sheet with the glasses.
Yeah.
And there's a girl on the bed and she flashes her boobies. And I remember on the TV version, they'd always tilt up, you know, and censor it out. But hey, speaking of Titanic, you know what I call Titanic for the very reason you described? Titanic. Because there's that scene where Winslet is being painted.
Now, I've got a question for either Al or Tom. How shocking was the scene in Psycho with the girl in the shower, beyond, you know, where you see the blood going down the drain and stuff, but the fact that there was like a sort of like partial nudity there, was that sort of risque at the time or edgy?
No, I didn't see it that way.
I didn't either.
No,
It was quick cuts though, but you did see, you saw a navel, which was a no.
Well, and where she sort of wraps up in the shower curtain. And being a black and white movie, I just, you know, I wasn't sure if that was like
well, even
pushing the boundaries.
Even Frankenstein, the movie back in the 30s, made women faint in the theaters because it was so shocking to see Karloff when he turned to the screen.
Well, that's kind of hard to believe today.
So I know I'm saying you go back and watch that. It's not comical, but it's truthful. I mean, back then, now if you take any of the movies that you're talking about and put them back in time, like in the 30s and 40s, oh my gosh, it would be.
They'd burn the theater down.
Yeah, they'd burn. Yeah,
it would be like the mob.
They'd
like after Frankenstein, but after the movie theater.
Yeah, they'd run you out of town on the rail like they did in that Coen Brothers movie, which will go unnamed. Oh, Brother Oz.
So another question. So another question for Al and your sort of generation. Would, I guess, the only opportunity to have seen, you know, like, you know, partial nudity, would that have just been like some like old 8mm stuff?
Right, correct.
Passed around that, like, hey.
Well, there were adult cinemas back then and stuff like that.
But could you get into that at, say, 13 or 14 years old? Right. That's sort of the difference. That.
But where I'm from in Newport News, Virginia, you could go downtown and they had peekaboo booths and quarters and
you could get in there, or like they would just chase you off.
Yeah, because it was a regular store that sold magazines, but in the back was the adult section, and a lot of times they weren't watching. And I remember me and a buddy of mine, who will go nameless, went into one of these places in downtown Newport News, and we saw the musical director in there looking at the magazines.
Everyone pretended that they didn't see each other.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't think that's changed.
You didn't make eye contact with him, you know.
Yeah.
And so we go, that's Mr. I won't say his name, but it was ironic to see that, because back then, that's like you said, 8mm Super 8 film was what you bought, and now you can go on eBay and find those stupid things left and right. Probably faded.
And then another movie that I thought of that was a little bit before my time, but like Barbarella with Jane Fonda.
Oh, one of Al's favorites.
Well, I mean, Barbarella, I mean, like, she's naked a lot of the time in that movie.
In the opening credit sequence.
And what year did that come out, Chance?
68.
So, like, once again, for 68, when that came out, being that it wasn't like, you know, a rated X movie, was that sort of really pushing the boundaries? Or,
you know, to this day, Jane Fonda doesn't like that movie.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't like to talk about it. But, you know, she was dating the director.
Was that how she got the part?
That's how she got.
Casting couch. Hey, we got a song that really personifies the feeling of turning 18. It's a classic song. You know it. I know Tom's got it.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've got that song. If you want to,
can you guess what it is? Jamie, are you still on the line?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening to y'all.
I thought I might have put you to sleep, man.
Huh?
I thought I might have put you to sleep.
Oh no, I'm listening to y'all talk.
But what song do you think of about turning 18, Jamie? You know what song I'm getting at?
Turning 18?
Yeah.
That was me hitting the computer.
Don't worry about it. We're going to play it in a second.
For you.
But now I remember, and Danny, you may remember this, some joker when I was growing up, I was like 13 years old, had put a bunch of hustlers in the woods. And we found them. We found Playboys and dirty magazines. And I don't know who put them there. But, I mean, I thought I hit the damn lottery.
You did.
You know?
At that age, that was hitting the lottery.
This is like in, I want to say.
Have you looked in the trunk of his car?
You ever
look in the trunk of his car?
No, I mean, chances correct. It wasn't like an everyday occurrence.
You know what he's got? You know what he's got in the trunk of his car?
A body. I've got a love doll.
You know, Chance and I, we'd be walking to the convenience store because we were either walking everywhere or riding our bikes, but doing a lot of walking. And occasionally you would find this just totally rain-soaked ratty edition of whatever it was, a Hustler.
It was rain soaked, exactly.
Right, because some kid couldn't bring it in the house, so he was trying to hide it.
Here's the song. Yeah, we'll get back to that, Danny. But this is the song I think of about turning 18. Alice Cooper's 18. Let's listen.
You're talking too much.
I can barely hear it. Oh, that was 18.
I think Tom.
I always liked Alice Cooper, actually.
Yeah, Alice Cooper was very talented.
What does turning 18 mean to you fellas? Everybody.
It means nothing. It means you're getting older.
What-
You can go buy beer.
I disagree, man. That's freedom.
You know, it's
Yeah, I would have to say I thought it was a huge turning point in my life. Turning 18 was the best. What do you mean? You're still young, but
You can leave the
also
house.
a man.
You can leave the house.
You can rent an apartment for the first time. So
And you have to start paying bills.
Correct.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
that-
hey,
well,
but you were not
the bad thing
under
about
the
turning
house of your
that's a good
You
point.
parents where you had freedom, as Ryan said. Another thing, when you turned 18, is you could legally get a tattoo. So my spring break, I turned 18 in October, my senior year of high school. So spring break in Florida that year, I got my very first tattoo.
And nowadays, kids are getting tattoos when they're 12.
Yeah,
even earlier.
that's very
Even
true.
earlier.
I don't have headphones like anything.
And you could buy cigarettes at 18 legally. You could buy beer. Now, you guys, it was 21 when I was growing up. It was the first
Now, when
time
I
you could buy
turned
beer.
18, you could go to a bar and buy beer, booze, whatever you wanted.
When
to.
did that change?
When it bumped to 21.
That was in
In the 80s.
68. Early 70s. They
I-
changed
well,
it
I-
to 21.
I remember in the mid 80s. I have cousins in the Boston area, and you
Yeah.
were 18 in Boston in the mid 80s. In like 1984, you could buy beer at 18
And-
up there. I
And
guess
now,
it's a state issue.
and now they're getting ready to change it to 21. What's 21?
Well, they already have.
A lot
Well,
of places.
I wonder if something sort of goes hand in hand where I was saying it's like, look, if you can draft me to go fight in
Right,
Vietnam
that's
at
what I'm
18,
saying.
That's
but
what I was
but
gonna
I
say.
can't get a beer.
That's
Um,
That's
something's wrong.
BS.
BS to you, Uncle Sam.
Something's wrong with that.
But
Something's wrong with
I guess later on the 80s, we're like, there's nothing going on. You got to be 21.
Well, let's be honest with each other, though. Did not being 18 stop you from having beers?
Yes, it did. That would be illegal, Ryan.
And what
And
else
I
can you?
would not do anything
Jamie's
or
still
endorse
here.
any of our listeners who are under the legal drinking age to do that.
And also, what could you do at 18? You
Hey,
could vote. You could
You
vote.
could vote.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Hey, I'm
Absolutely.
gonna watch y'all on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. We'll clear the
Hey.
line. Thanks, Jamie, for chiming in, man. You're the best.
Sir, y'all tune in tomorrow from 10 to 1.
Going to.
To
Good
one.
luck, man.
I
Break a
will.
leg, Jamie. I'll be listening.
Hey, man.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good one.
WTZA.net, everybody.
All right, the phone
Thanks, Jamie.
number.
Okay.
On FM 1010 AM.
That's in Atlanta.
That's it.
That's in Atlanta
That's it.
only.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta. That's right.
The number to
But they
call.
can hear it on the web anywhere.
Well, they can.
You could
They
be in
can.
Argentina. We have people that download our show every week in Argentina. We looked at the numbers.
Wow, really?
So we're getting other countries. Which
The
is kinda
number,
nice.
the number to call 678-615-7560. Call now. If you call now, Chance will give you a free set of glassware.
All right, guys, going around the room, who did you vote for in your first presidential election after you were of the age of majority?
Oh, geez.
For me, it was Bush Senior, and I was actually I was away in Pennsylvania at a boarding school, and I had to do an absentee ballot. So actually, I didn't go into a booth. I filled it out and mailed it in.
Yeah.
But that was my first presidential vote was for Bush Senior.
Wow.
What about you, Ryan?
I actually prefer not to say.
Oh, what about you, Chance? You're sitting there talking about underage drinking, but you don't want to say you're patriotic. Was it Ross the Boss Perot?
No, it was Bush. I mean, it was Bush. Probably is my first
What?
to vote. Like, golly,
Bush
Trying to
Senior or
keep up.
Senior?
Senior.
Senior.
It was the 88 election.
Who did
That's
you
the
first
same
vote
for all
for?
of us.
Yeah.
I mean, the Generation X in the room.
Yeah.
But you got to let the older guys talk every once in a while, guys. The first
Motor mouth.
Well, the first person I voted for was here's the thing. When I turned 18, voting was the last thing I could care about. To be honest with you, I mean, I couldn't care about the state. I couldn't care about the Senate, all that crap. I still don't care that much. But anyway, I guess the first person I voted for was Reagan. Believe it or not, and
Yeah.
I was, and I was way beyond. I was way beyond the years in voting. I could have been
Well,
voting since I was 18. And I didn't. I chose not to. I didn't vote for Nixon. I didn't vote for any of that stuff. So, that's just the way it is. I just didn't think about it. When you're 18, you got other things on your mind.
Years.
You're right, women. But I was going to say, Al, I just heard you take a call, and you're not answering nostalgic Podblast or Podblast.
Well, you need to worry about your end, and let me worry about my end. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Dude, it's time for that.
The first person I voted for is Jimmy Carter.
Was you? Wait a minute. Yeah.
That was Jimmy Carter.
You don't want to hear who I voted for.
Who was Carter running against? I can't remember
Mondale.
anymore.
Was Mondale? Was Mondale?
No,
Mondale
was a
was
Democrat too.
Yeah. Okay.
He was running against
Reagan.
Who?
He was running against Reagan. No. He was running against Reagan because Reagan beat him. Reagan beat him.
Well, but he was
because Carter was a one-term president, and Reagan was running against him. So Reagan beat him out.
But when Carter first ran, who was he running against?
Who did Carter win out against when he served his one term?
I don't know. It's a shame we don't have these devices called computers.
No, that was in the ticket. No,
was it? It wasn't John.
Right.
It wasn't
You're
Johnson.
talking 1976 is what you're talking.
It wasn't Lyndon Johnson.
No.
What year are you talking about? 80 or 76? Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. The term that he served was against Ford.
President Ford,
I hate Tom.
Joe Ford, because Joe Ford took over from Nixon.
That's
who,
right.
Who left office? We won't say why, but that's what it was.
We have your friend Mark's on the
Mark's
phone.
on the line. Hey, Mark. How you doing? Hey, Mark, are you there? Mark.
Yo.
Hey, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
It's all right. How y'all?
You're on the nostalgic Podblast, or the what is it called again?
Nostalgic Podblast. If you're listening on Atlanta radio.
Yes. So, Mark, when you turned what year did you turn 18?
I remember turning 18 in 1981 on October the 13th and being in Anniston, Alabama in basic training.
Alabama. Oh.
October 15th.
So you joined by yourself, right? You joined up. Is that?
Yeah. I don't even remember why.
Yeah. Well. You went to Hawaii. You went to some cool places when you were in the military, though. I remember you telling me about it.
Korea.
I remember you telling me
Philippines. It's all right.
What was the biggest first thing you remember doing when you turned 18? Besides joining the military, which was a big deal, but what was the big thing that you said, "Wow, this is great! I can do this now without any issues"? What was the big thing for you?
I would say it would be, I was glad that there were other people who were 18 that the drill sergeant could yell at besides me.
Good point.
Thank you for your service, Mark. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
However, you were talking about movies, and it wouldn't be when I was 18 though, but I remember seeing it on Turner Classic.
Yeah. Back
Freaks.
when they were good. Freaks, yeah.
Yeah, when they were good. Yeah.
You know, Todd Browning.
Freaks.
19,
30-some. Yeah.
Yes. But the opening scene, it shows the full-size woman, whatever you want to call that, the not freak.
The bosom.
And she's wearing, and you can see her nipples. And I'm like, holy cow,
well, see, back then the Hayes rules were not enacted. They had different rules in the motion picture industry. There's even a group on Facebook that's called Pre-Code Films or something along that lines, and it shows pictures of some of the early actresses and the Myrna Loys and whoever, and very scantily clad outfits, and you go, wow, that made it through the censors. And yeah, it did. Back then it did. Yeah, no, it really did. And there's some scenes that you go, wow, even with Joan Crawford, and you go, okay, that was in a movie. But you don't see those movies hardly at all. You see them on Turner Classic Movies every once in a while, but that's about it. You know.
Well, in terms of today's entertainment, like how would you say it was like very sort of risque or whatever at the time?
Yeah.
Like what are we talking here?
Well, they wouldn't show full frontal nudity, but they would always show it in silhouette. You would show it in silhouette, ladies taking showers, and
so you could see the full uncovered.
That's the best. Your mind filled in the details.
Exactly,
because things were left to the imagination.
Yes, it was very, very much imaginative and very creative that they did it that way. But Busby Berkeley was guilty of it, and Al Hardy was guilty of it. I don't know if to make sure Al was listening.
I don't know if it was an actual thing, but in Leonardo DiCaprio, in The Aviator, where he's playing Hughes. And there's something, I guess he was under fire for, the amount of like cleavage that he was showing in his films. And so there's a scene where some guy, he's got some mathematician who's going, well, look over here, James Mansfield is showing, this much, but in our movies, we're only showing this much cleavage. And that was just cleavage. It's not like it was full anything.
How about TV? Now we're blasting off into somewhat of a same topic, but on television, they had Jiggle TV, which was a ratings sensation with Charlie's Angels and shows like that. But I'll be brief. But there was a period where women weren't wearing bras on Three's Company, on Chips, and you could see like wearing white top, no bra, left nothing to the imagination.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I wish that would come back. Women, stop wearing bras.
It did with Friends. If you ever notice Friends, I'm not a huge fan of the show. Give a crap about sitcoms, really, but if you watch Friends, you'll notice that did come back.
Mark, what was your first?
I did not know that.
What was your favorite band when you were 18? What was your favorite group that you listened to?
Oh, good question.
Yeah. Mark, you still there?
Yes. My favorite group?
Yeah. Like you had to been cruising down, listening to songs on the radio or the 8-track player in your car or whatever you had back then.
No, I had actually had the old tape deck. Okay. Not the one in the car, the one that your older brother or sister had, press
the reel
play record.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So what was your favorite group though? What did you like listening to the most? And that couldn't have been Neil Young because Neil Young wasn't here then. Well, maybe he was.
Unfortunately, I was musically ignorant until about 1979. So prior to that, it was.
So this is a little bit of everybody. You didn't have a particular group that you really stuck with. Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right.
My second concert was AC/DC with
nice.
Bon Scott.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Well, there you go.
So
that's it.
I would go see anybody. It didn't matter.
What about you, Al? What about you, Al?
All that.
Hey, Mark, do you remember the first concert you went to see?
Kiss with Nantucket.
Nice. Kiss.
The Dynasty. Disco Kiss.
I remember walking out.
Disco Kiss.
Walking out of a Grand Funk Railroad concert. They were so loud they were actually hurting my chest. I mean, the
really
subwoofers, and we had good seats, and it was actually hurting, and it hurt her as well. So we laughed. Couldn't believe it. I was a teenager.
What was the first concert you went to?
Probably either Three Dog Night or Chicago.
Both were good.
Both excellent.
Yeah, and I saw Chicago a bunch of times back when Terry Kath was still alive and when they had the original Chicago. Now there's only two original members. And I won tickets to go see the new Chicago in March, which they haven't sent me the tickets for yet. WSB Radio.
Yeah, but they're not original, are they?
No, there's only Bobby Lamb, Robert Lamb, the keyboard player, and the trumpet player, and they're the only two original members left in the band. Everybody else is a member. But it was just like Eagles. You go see the Eagles.
Well, they were here this weekend, and people were going crazy over the Eagles, but they're not the original group.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Why would you pay that kind of money to see non-Eagles?
Really, technically, there's only one original Eagle now.
Right.
And that's Don Henley.
Yeah.
Because Timothy B. Schmidt, he's from Poco. He replaced.
I remember that.
I can't think of his name. I can't believe I can't remember his name. But he replaced the original bass player, Randy Meisner. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
He replaced Randy Meisner, and Joe Walsh. He was not an original Eagle, and Glenn Frey is which one died?
Don Henley.
That's Glenn Frey.
No, Glenn Frey. Glenn Frey died.
Yeah, he does.
And he's replaced by the country artist now. I forget his name too, but
Vince Gill.
Who is it? Vince Gill.
Vince Gill.
Vince Gill. And the other guitar player that was sort of original, he's gone now. And so I'm saying there's one Eagle left.
He said Vince Gill, not to change the subject, but you know what group he used to play in before he was really country?
Pure Prairie.
Oh, hey, what you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen to like the caller saying, his first concerts were like Kiss and AC/DC. I'm so jealous because I love that music, but I was too young
to go
to a concert.
Yeah.
So sadly, the first concert I ever saw was something, my parents took me with them, and it was a Neil Diamond concert.
Oh,
Well, he's great. You were lucky.
But for the music that I really enjoy, Hot August Night is probably one of the better live albums in my opinion. It's just really fun music.
Well,
the second concert I saw,
Barbra Streisand,
was at Six Flags, and it was a Cheap Trick.
Oh, that's good.
featuring Barbra Streisand.
I actually saw Cheap
Was
Trick.
she originally a Cheap Trick, or was she replaced by the long blonde haired guy?
She was a Cheap Trick, right? Is that what we said?
I saw Cheap Trick at Six Flags as well. And
the same
yeah.
show.
Probably you were.
It probably worked.
And Cool at the Gang as well. I saw them.
My microphone's gotten low again.
Hey, Mark, thanks for calling in. We're gonna clear the lines, but
Mark, you
call anytime.
Yeah, you got anything else?
Y'all
to
have
add?
a good one.
All right, buddy. Okay, buddy. Thanks, Mark.
See, now the first concert that I chose to go to, that I bought tickets because I was 18 and I could drive and buy tickets and all that stuff, was Iron Maiden.
Is my sister Jackie on there? Because she went to some amazing concerts when she was young. I remember she brought back a book, because you can buy these books, all the concerts. It was the McCoys, Gene Pitney. She could probably tell you exactly who I was in that concert, but she went to a place called the Virginia Beach Dome, which is still there in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And a mutual friend of Al's, you know him too, Tom Hudgens.
God rest his soul. He's deceased.
Amen to that. But he, I've got a picture at my desk right now at work. He took of Jimi Hendrix, because he saw Jimi Hendrix at the Dome, Virginia Beach Dome.
Wow.
Now he was too young he never drove. He never drove his entire life. He drove a moped, but his mother or father would take him to these concerts and drop him off, or him and his friend or whatever.
Interesting.
And but Hendrix was one that he went to see, and like I said, I've got that picture on my desk.
So he has like an original photo of Jimi Hendrix?
Of course. Yeah.
It's worth a fortune.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't.
I've met somebody,
Jimi
a guy I
Hendrix.
worked with that had a photo of Jimi Hendrix coming out of an airport that he personally snapped. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
And hey, audience, you may remember this. The last time we did a show, Bill Tush was our guest, and I swear the house across the street in this very studio burned in a fire. And the song that popped in my head was Jimi Hendrix's "House Burning Down."
Wow.
Someone's house is burning.
The first
down,
concert
down,
I
down,
went to
down,
see
down.
was Kenny Rogers in the first edition.
Nice.
You paid up your
I'm going to shut up, but I'm going to hold up for our audience, for our Facebook Live viewers, an article in the paper. It was in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution about the fire across the street.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty exciting at the time. I mean, in a bad way, but it was like really freaky.
Still
Anyway, we
exciting.
talked about it already.
We talked about it. Anyway, we're getting back to Kenny Rogers before I was rudely interrupted. But anyway, that's before he really went country. Because
of course.
The first hit song was "Just Dropped In to See What Condition My Condition Is In."
Oh, great song.
Remember that song?
It's a great song. Nice.
Yeah. I actually met him a few times later on when I was in country radio. He's actually a pretty nice guy.
Yeah. But I saw Elvis twice.
I never saw Elvis. I had a chance to see him. I never saw him.
Now what happened? What happened that you had? He said you had a chance.
Because I grew up in Wilmington, a small town, and the closest he was Raleigh.
Was Raleigh.
No, he played Raleigh. He also played Charlotte, I do believe.
Okay.
Guys, what's going on?
And I just didn't drive.
Guys, what's going on tonight? Oh, finish your thought. Well, what's tonight? As we record this, it's the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
And
we're talking about music.
I know. The topic is 18, but that's okay. Finish your thought, and I want to talk about the Oscars in a second.
He interrupts, doesn't he? Well, you got the little shut up thing down there.
Apologize.
So go ahead.
This is the Chance Bartel show. You know.
That's right.
So
I like the sound of that.
So you almost saw Elvis at Raleigh.
Raleigh, yes. Well, Raleigh was closer. That was only an hour and a half away.
Right.
Maybe 2 hours.
So were you too young to drive yourself?
No, I was old enough to go.
You just.
I'll
see him later. I'll see him some other time. Then he, unfortunately.
But I never had a chance to see the Beatles.
No, I didn't either.
I never had a chance. I wasn't living in Atlanta.
They came to Atlanta in '66, and you know this, Tom.
They played the stadium.
Right, Fulton County Stadium. Who was the MC for that Beatles tour? You know it. I'll tell you. If you don't know, it's fine. Bob Eubanks, who went on to do those cheesy Newlywed Game shows and Card Sharks. But he worked with the Beatles on their tour.
Now, there was a local DJ.
I did not know that.
In Norfolk. His name was Gene Loving on WGH AM radio. And 1350. I still know all that crap.
1350.
He was caught in the elevator with the Beatles, and he had his tape recorder with him because he wanted to get an interview. And he darn sure got a great, wonderful interview with all four of them.
How cool is that?
And
it's very cool. I hope he still has that.
He still
somewhere.
does. They released it, and I've heard it many times. And it's actually quite good. It's very candid. They were still early on in their careers. So they were very candid about that.
I'd like to talk to him about that. That would be amazing.
And he's got a great voice. You'd love his voice.
Oh.
He left radio, went on to do real estate and stuff like that. But in Virginia, his name was Gene Loving. And the other popular DJ was Dick Lamb.
Well, did you ever have the chance to see the Beatles?
No, I did not. They
played Virginia, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But I was too young.
You see Paul McCartney or Wings?
I think we could do a whole Beatles.
We could.
Podblast.
No,
we will.
I saw Paul McCartney and
easily.
Wings.
Because this would all be great.
678-615-7560. Give us a call.
I saw Paul
Facebook
McCartney
Live.
at the Omni.
We talked about that.
Paul
last
McCartney
week.
and Wings. Yeah,
I had tickets to see him at the Dome. They tore it down, but I didn't go.
All right, guys, we got to get back on track with the topic. All right. Now, here's what we're going to talk about. What's going on tonight? It's the Oscars, right? And I'm going to Podblast into a quick subject. Here's Tom. This will interest you. We had some breaking news the other night. Mort calling Orson. Come in, Orson. Mort calling Orson. Come in, Orson. Mort, come in. Orson Bean has died at 91 years old. That's an actor you like, Tom.
Yeah.
And the stupid thing is, he was on his phone crossing the street and he got run over by 3 cars. It wasn't from old age.
Well,
he was crossing the street.
Right, he got clipped.
We also lost Kirk Douglas.
Now, I'm being facetious. I'm sad about it. I don't know if he was on his phone or not, but he was oblivious apparently.
True.
And
he came in between 2 cars.
Boom!
And they didn't see him, and they got clipped, and they fell to the ground. The second cars would kill him.
Damn. And tonight, now I'll shut up in a second. Just bear with me.
It's Mort calling Ork.
Mort calling. No, it's Mort calling Orson. Orson was the overlord. I'm right, actually. He's Mort from Ork. Orson was his commander that sent him to Earth.
Correction corner.
I guess I belong in correction corner. Then my bad.
But I was going to say, I know everyone in this room, I think, except Danny saw 1917. Tom saw it with his wife.
Yep.
Ryan saw it with his wife, and I saw it with my wife, Al, last night.
That's right. We saw it.
And we loved it.
The ceremony was at the wing place.
Guys, just look, we'll get back on track, but please go around the room. Tell me your thoughts on the movie 1917, those that have seen it, starting with Tom.
It was probably, first of all, if you go see it, if it's still out there, by the time you hear this, even on the radio, whatever, try to go see it at the biggest screen you can. Because if you see it on your television set on a small 32-inch or whatever you may have, it's not going to be as good. It's one of those movies that you want to see.
Well, there's a lot going on all sides of the
true.
Because
and they shot it with 2 or 3 Arri cameras, especially made Arri cameras that they made. And the way they tracked the shots,
like when they were in the tunnels, was there a guy with a camera attached
to
him?
There was a there was a guy. It was one guy shooting it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they would do handoffs to other DPs.
Right. Steadicam
is how they would do it, and it was so seamless. It wasn't even funny. And there is a featurette or something that they're showing. I think
the making of. I saw that on Showtime.
Showtime is running.
I saw it.
And
HBO.
Post Magazine, which is the industry magazine, talks about how they went about shooting the actual film, which is pretty fascinating. But getting back to the movie, listen, are there better war? I mean, In Harm's Way, great war movie.
This is a topic we're going to discuss. Danny thought of this idea, war movies, but please continue.
Yeah, one that we like, one that me and Al like was the Nazi general. I can't think of the name of it. Boogers. I can't think of the name of it.
Patton?
No. It's from a German.
Inglourious Bastards?
German point of view.
It starred Peter O'Toole.
Yes, that's correct. It was
Night of the Generals.
Thank you. Night of the Generals.
You can forgetful in your old age.
Yeah, that's what it is. But
it's a great movie.
Are there better written movies? Possibly.
Yeah.
But this movie just grabs you.
Ryan, what'd you think of 1917?
Fantastic.
Had a great score. I love the music in it.
Oh, the music was awesome too.
Yeah.
Just the seamless of all the shots and the way it was shot.
But you know, it's kind of like
Beautiful.
It's kind of like a thriller and a war movie, because there were scenes in the movie where
Sure.
it was calm. You know, it was nothing. You know, and then all of a sudden, boom!
The
you
music
know?
made it.
There's so much I
Yeah.
could talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't
Yeah.
seen it. But
Yeah, but that one,
once that first explosion starts, the
Yeah.
movie just takes off.
And the plane scene.
but that plane scene,
Beautiful.
that damn,
What a beautiful
that
scene.
daggone Nazi, even though he wasn't a Nazi, but he was assumed to be, could have been. a
Exactly.
Spoilers.
Nazi. Pissed me.
And
off.
those guys.
I
are-
didn't say what he did. I didn't say what he did. I just said he pissed me off.
There's a
man.
Nazi who's not
Yeah.
a Nazi.
Speaking of pissed off, three quick comments about the movie. Did the hero and star of the show, the character's name is William Schofield. Did he ever take a piss? And
What
was
the
he
heck has
and
to
was
do
he
with anything?
bulletproof? Because
no idea.
he had amazingly good luck dodging bullets in that movie.
Well, he did.
My disbelief was pretty suspended.
Well,
I
Well,
love
hey,
the
luck-
movie,
luck
but I'm
counts,
just
man.
saying. And also the use of the F-bomb in that movie in 1917.
coming from a guy who likes Marvel movies, you know.
In 1917, good point. In 1917, were people really dropping
Yes.
the F-bomb
Yes,
like
they were.
that?
The
It
It
F-bomb
was
has
French,
been-
and this was set in Europe. So,
remember,
Yeah, the F-bomb's
remember the
been
movie
used for a long
Titanic?
time. Yeah.
Remember the movie Titanic?
of course,
Okay.
Titanic.
All right,
Titanic.
do you remember what they were doing? They were flipping the bird.
I don't remember that scene.
That was in there. Yeah,
What scene was it? where it
that was
flipped
when the
bird?
ship was sinking, and she flipped what's his face the bird.
Oh, that's right.
She sure did. And I had to look that up myself. I'm going, were they doing that back then? And
So you did research it. So they were. That's
So they
accurate.
were,
Well,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Well,
But cussing goes way back, and so yeah, of course they were.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
good to
saying
know,
back in
good to
the,
know,
uh,
Tom.
saying that.
What was that show that they used to have on HBO? Deadwood, is that correct?
Yeah,
Remember that Western show?
Yes.
They said that was actually pretty realistic, the way that they talked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the F-bomb has been dropped.
Well, how about that?
I'm
How
going to add a
about
little
that?
bit, since we're just going wildly off topic. Do you guys know the origin of the F word?
It's French. It's
I do.
all-
no.
Don Imus.
No. I actually have the answer for those who are listening. No, I actually know the answer to this. I know the answer to this. Back when they used to put people in the pillory, in the stocks.
Right.
Okay. They'd engrave a letter above it, sort of like, I guess, the scarlet letter, so that passersby would know what they were being punished for. So, for instance, there might be an S for stealing or whatever. The crime that the people had committed was for using carnal knowledge.
There you
And
go.
I'll let you
Dun,
guys.
dun, dun, dun.
I'll let you guys spell that out. But that's where it came from. So they had done something, sexually inappropriate, and so they were put in the pillory, and it was for using carnal knowledge. And from that, it became shortened to
I got you. Don't
you're
say it. We're on the radio.
Gabanga banga. How's that? From your comic book expert, Danny Cochran.
Very good.
That's right. Danny.
So, all right. Well, I will talk about another R-rated booby movie. Zapped.
Wait
Zapped.
a minute. We're not.
Oh,
talking,
okay.
What are you talking about?
We're not. We've already passed
Come on.
that. You know.
Well, the topic of today's show is
I know,
R-rated
but you
movies.
keep talking about
Okay,
the same
fair
thing.
enough.
Yeah.
Topic is 18.
Go on.
Turn to
Carry
18.
on. Carry on, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Thank you.
This is Sparta. But Kirk Douglas just recently died as well. Now you said Orson Bean.
Mhm.
It seems like it comes in threes. So you have Orson
Yep.
Bean, and it did come.
There
in
was a
threes.
third.
There was a third. There was Orson Bean. There was Kirk Douglas, and sadly, there was Robert Culp.
Conrad.
Not Conrad. Culp. Listen to me, Conrad. Who
Yes.
was
He passed away
Well,
yesterday.
there was
Wild
Neil
Wild
Peart,
West.
the drummer of Rush, who recently passed away.
Yeah.
There was that basketball guy, Kobe.
But he's right.
Yeah.
Kobe.
Kobe. Yeah. Well, that was
I'm just
terrible.
saying. So
Yeah.
we're saying they come in threes. So what's your
It
third?
actually just comes. It just comes.
Yeah, death is coming.
Robert Conrad.
You
made a
don't
good-
realize that when you're 18 to bring this all back to the topic, which
Yeah,
has
exactly.
nothing to do with dead actors, the Oscars.
Well, this is the Podblast. Danny, I got to
Right.
correct you. This is the Podblast. When we diverse
Yeah,
and
we do.
blast, we got to
That's
cover
why-
recent deaths.
That's
I mean,
one reason it's called the Pod Blast is because we blast about a little bit of everything, which is what everyone wants to hear, right, viewers?
Yes.
that audience.
Let us know.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, give us that
Tom.
number to call in.
What was Robert Conrad's famous line in a famous commercial? I know you know it.
I do, but I'll let you share it.
I dare you to knock it off. He had a battery on his shoulder. Was it Duracell?
Duracell.
And he goes, "Come on, I dare you.
I don't
dare you
remember
to
that.
knock it off." Oh, it was famous. It was out. Look it up. You look up on YouTube. Robert Conrad
But he looked,
Duracell commercial.
but he looked great.
Battery.
I mean, he looked absolutely great. I knew had some health issues. I think he was 84.
Yeah, he was 84.
But he looked great, and he actually had a podcast or a video podcast or something along that line on Facebook and a couple other channels. I remember seeing it seemed like about a year ago, but he's still.
I liked him.
And he was in
Wild
shape.
West.
Yes, and he could do his own stunts.
Wild
And
Wild West
he's
was
a
a
little
great
guy
show.
like me, but he wised up and got built. He
Yeah.
worked out to compensate for his lack of height and took up martial arts.
Yeah. Hey, Facebook audience, give us a call at 678-615-7560. And if you call now, Al will personally give you a shout out. He will. He will. Al Hardy will give you a personal shout out. But so Conrad was most famous for, they say, Baba Black Sheep. That was his last big series.
I didn't like that show.
Well,
I didn't care for it.
I loved it as a kid. I don't know if I could like it now.
And that had
I loved
Dirk
it.
Blocker in it, which was Dan Blocker's son.
Yes.
But his
Haas
most famous one
from Bonanza.
Yeah.
Sorry.
His most famous one was Wild Wild West, the Wild Wild West. Now, did you guys ever watch that?
I'm
know it's before your
familiar with
time.
it, but I didn't really watch it. But talking about Baba Black Sheep, how about the cheaper version? What was it called? Black Sheep Squadron.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It was kind of a
A
B-rate.
knockoff.
Yeah, a total knockoff.
Well, they had
Like BJ and the Bear knocking off Smokey and the Bandit, the TV ripoff version.
Tom, my earliest probably Western shows would have been Lone Ranger or The Rifleman,
right, yeah.
and possibly
yeah.
followed by, I guess, Bonanza.
Now,
I
what,
think the Rifleman had the best theme song.
Yeah,
I love that
Okay.
music. Yeah.
now, what was up against Wild Wild West at the same time? It was the Big Valley. Was on.
I like
Lee
that show
Majors.
too.
Lee Majors' first
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
Big Valley had a
And
great
Linda
Wild-
Evans.
Had a great theme. I love
Yeah,
Big Valley.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure what the other network was running that time, but back then, westerns was a big thing. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Cimarron Strip, they had Gunsmoke, they had all that. Wagon Train.
You know,
think was
I
still
never
on.
liked Gunsmoke. It was
Yeah,
okay.
but
I
it was
just
on
didn't care
forever.
for it.
It was on
What
forever.
about Paladin? Was that
Paladin-
one?
Have gun roll travel.
Yeah.
Tom,
Bat Masterson.
can you at some point pull up the Wild Wild West theme?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to hear. That's by Jerry Goldsmith, I believe. I
Yeah,
love that. It's a
it
great
was.
musical theme.
It was, and it was a very good show. And
James Bond meets the Wild West, and I'll shut the hell up.
sadly,
now.
Ross Martin died during. I think did he? Wait a minute. He may have died. He died when the show went up there.
No, he came back for the reunion movies in
Right, he
'80.
did. That's what I'm saying.
He was around in the early '80s.
I was
anyway.
thinking Dr. Megalito Lovelace, who
The
played
dwarf.
The dwarf. He died during it. Who was a popular evil villain midget? He was a midget.
Mhm.
Oh, he was a midget.
Are you allowed to say that
He's
word
one of
these
my
days?
people.
He has a thing for midgets.
He was a little person. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
He was a little football.
He was a little football.
Jeez Louise.
But Conrad was great for that show. Now, did he like the remake movie? I wonder, with Will Smith, the Wild Wild West.
I hope
movie?
not. That movie was trash.
It wasn't very good. No.
Terrible.
I didn't care for it.
My memory of the remake one is when my daughter was being born in the hospital room. That was actually on the TV, and I had to take note of that time. The
Wild Wild
Will
West
Smith Wild Wild West,
Oh,
and I was just like, "Wow, this is the movie that is on the TV when my daughter is being born. Why couldn't it be a cooler film?" But I'll always have a little sort of,
soft spot
yeah,
for that stupid remake.
There you go.
Did you
had,
think about the birth of
no,
your
it had
daughter?
some cool bits. The giant robotic spider was pretty neat.
Oh, the effects.
yeah, the effects were great.
Sure, the effects are great, man. There's some cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
We'll get the theme up in a little bit, but the theme to the original
I
show
got the
is a
theme right
good one.
here.
All right.
I got the theme right here.
Who was the
Let's
eye
try
candy
it.
in the remake of Wild West? Who was that girl, Chance,
What's that?
in the remake of Wild West with Will Smith?
I forgot. Selma Hayek.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't hate on a movie with
Bum, bum,
Salma
bum,
Hayek.
bum, bum, bum,
So Selma Hayek is in the movie? What am I going to call the theme of? If you're humming it? It's
it.
okay. It's okay.
That was quite a performance.
Of course,
Universal logo.
Well, they got to put that in front of everything, don't they?
Is this must be the movie, or I'll just
No, this is the,
wait for it, wait for it,
now
wait
it's-
for
now
it,
it's a
wait
$6
for it,
million
wait for it.
Wait. Now it's a $6 million man. I don't know what the computer's doing. This is a $6 million man.
I'll take it.
I know, but
What is this?
It's $6 million.
Turn it up, Al.
man.
Turn it up.
And I didn't even put that in. And it comes up another.
Wait, I didn't even hear anything.
Yeah, listen.
That's man landing.
$6 million man opening and closing. That's it.
That's not it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm telling you, that's not the opening. This is some sort of fan re-edit or some crap. This ain't the real theme. The 6-year-old man is bow, 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 bow. We
don't need any sounds. We got Chance. It's a
off-key chance. Off-key chance.
I thought he was supposed to raise his hand every time he wants to talk.
What?
Oh, here's the Wild West.
Apparently, you thought wrong. There you go.
Oh, by the way,
which?
What?
So, by the way, it's a great song.
Please play the whole thing while you talk.
By the way, Black Sheep
Talk all the way through it.
Black Sheep Squadron was a retitle of the second season of Bob Black Sheep.
Oh, is that correct?
Ah,
oh, wow.
You nailed it, Ryan. Well done, man.
That's from Mark. That's from Mark, who called a little while ago.
Oh, really? Thank you, Mark. Very interesting. I did not know that. I thought it was a total knockoff. Yeah. It wasn't very good.
Well done, Tom. That's not the version for... In the 80s, they released a series of records, and I brought one. We're going to play out a song at the end of today's show, but I won't reveal what that is. But it was TV's greatest hits, and they had several volumes. But in the beginning, they didn't have the 35mm original, so they would have reorchestrations of themes. And so it irritates me on radio shows where they'll say, here's the Star Trek theme, and it's the lame 1985 reorchestration of it. I see you looking at the watch. Do you have to roll, Tom?
I've got to roll here in a few minutes. About 10 more minutes.
We're going to keep going, though.
No,
we'll keep going.
We've rolled 55 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to go at least 90, so cool. But we'll get back on track talking about Zapped and modern problems and some of the movies. Like, remember The Greatest American Virgin? The Last American Virgin. Terrible movie.
I remember the title.
Why do we digress back to that? Why can't we just move on to other things?
What else you got notes
Didn't
on,
we
Chance?
talk about R-rated movies?
We didn't even scratch it. As usual, we
but
never
there are other
scratch the
things.
surface.
Well,
let's let Tom talk. So he's got to roll. I know he's got more to say.
I've got nothing to say.
Oh, yes, you do. He's being a smart aleck.
I finished talking.
Okay, all right. 18, somewhere in here is your first car.
yes.
Right?
Oh, boy.
Let's talk about that.
Of course.
The Mustang. Go ahead.
My first car was a Nissan truck, and it only had about 30,000 miles on it used when I
That's
bought
not
it.
bad.
And, well, I had been working, as Chance can attest, from when I was 15 at McDonald's, and everybody saw my friends like, oh man, let's go to Six Flags. And I was like, no, I got to go work at McDonald's. However, I saved up enough money so that I was able to buy a very nice, relatively new Nissan truck. So in high school, when all my friends were driving around these beater cars and like breaking down on the side of the road, they'd be calling me like, oh, hey, Danny, I walked up to the gas station and my car broke down. And I was like, yeah, I remember you guys all making fun of me for like working all those years, but I'm going to go take my girlfriend to the movies while you're sitting down, broken down on the side of the road. What was your first car?
I had a Datsun Maxima, not a Nissan Maxima. A Datsun
I
Maxima.
loved that car.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tom, what was your first car?
Was it a hand-me-down?
Oh, yes, of course. It was
because you
from my
guys
father.
talk like these are brand new cars and you got
Oh,
it.
no. This was a hand-me-down from my father.
So how old was it when you got it? Do you know?
Well, I didn't get my driver's license till I was 17, so
Right.
probably 18, somewhere around there.
Mine was
I would just borrow it, and then I finally got
mine
it.
was a 55 Chevy.
Huh, nice.
Mine
That
was
would be
55
something
Chevy.
now, wouldn't it?
You know what my car was?
57 Chevy's the classic.
Of course.
My car was a 1966 Comet.
Nice.
That was your first car?
My first car. Remember, they had the Comet, and then it had a Falcon.
Right,
The
right.
Comet was, I think, the Mercury side
It
of
was.
it.
Right.
They were a great little car. I
Yeah,
love to
the
have
Comet.
it today.
Yeah.
That Comet.
Well, it's probably rusted through by now, but you mean you like to have it restored?
Yeah.
You like to have it
Oh,
restored.
yeah.
And my buddy Don Sherrell, he always had Ford Falcons.
And
he must have had 3, 4, 5, or 6 of those
and the
things.
gears were on the column.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a straight shift on the column.
Well, my 55 was on the column first, but my dad moved it down. It got a Hearst mystery shifter. We put it in the floor.
I didn't have that.
Oh, there you go.
And my brother's first car was a amazing car. His was a 67 Malibu SS.
Ooh.
Oh, a super
Had a
sport.
327
Wow.
engine in it. Had a I forget what the shifter was, but the darn thing would always get hung up in second gear, and you had to go into the car and with the screwdriver.
Wow.
But I remember going out with him and his buddy. There's a long story involved in this, but I'll give you the clips notes. We were going around the Hampton Coliseum. We were going as fast as that car would go.
Right.
Me and my buddy Bert Grimsley were in the back seat, and I just remember we were going over 100 going down the interstate. Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
You go to drive-ins a lot?
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I had a 55, and then I went to Volkswagens. I had 3 or 4 Volkswagens.
Well, my next car after the Comet was a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Did anyone have sex in a car? I've got to ask. Oh no, I never did, but I went everything but, and then the cop. No, I was parked in front of a cemetery, Arlington, with a girl named Barbara I was dating, and we were buck naked, the back of a car. Cop shines the light on us. He said, "Get the hell out of here."
I'm sure glad you wouldn't know that.
I'm
sorry.
I've had a
to keep it real,
I've had a few car dates with a few different young ladies in my history, but none of that compares to my lovely and amazing.
I've never
wife.
scored in a car before.
Well, actually, back then, if you remember, when I was dating in the early 70s, drive-ins were still popular. So we had several drive-ins to choose
movie theater
to make out.
Yeah,
you would make out though.
Yeah.
You'd make out.
Yeah, of course.
I miss drive-ins.
Of course.
What do they call it? Non-golden.
I never did that
Making
when I
out,
went- I
sucking
did-
face. That was the line. In that
I
movie?
never did that when I went to the drive. I went to watch the movie.
I'll have to admit that I did too, Al.
Yeah.
Al, you're too classy for the show, Al.
Look,
He's a pervert.
I have no problem with
he's
a guy.
relations in a car.
He's a pervert.
Danny, am I
He's
out
a
of line?
pervert.
Am I out of line here? I don't know.
You are.
Wow. And women, please get a mammogram. I'm serious.
We'll have a meeting.
We're talking about our favorite.
God's name.
Chance, we'll have a meeting after the show.
Okay. That's hilarious.
I think I'm in trouble.
I think you might be.
I think I'm in trouble.
I like how you followed it up with that public service announcement.
We
Chance.
love the girls in this show. And by the way,
Chance.
we are the first Atlanta area pop culture
Okay,
show.
well,
I mean, we made history,
Hey.
guys.
raise your hand next time you want to speak.
Okay, Dad.
Okay.
Okay, Mom.
See, Al's making us feel 18 all over again, man. Well, hey, what's our curfew, Al?
Cheers, fellas.
Well, here's the beautiful part.
Well, I would just like to move away from sex. That's all
I
we're
don't want to
talking
go to
about.
church today,
You know?
Dad.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
My first car, by the way, Delta 88. I'll leave it at that. And then I had a
Oldsmobile.
Celica that I wrecked. Wasn't my fault. I
Oh,
bought the
yeah.
Toyota
I
Celica. The
remember the
Supra was
Celica.
better. My friend Larry Hutchinson had a Supra.
Those are worth a ton of money still. Those are still expensive cars.
And my first vote, I hate to say it, the caucus, 88. You could never ask me.
Oh,
I know. I
I forgot about the caucus.
yeah.
Everybody did. Even the voters.
And he was in that tank with the helmet. Remember?
Oh,
Bad
that's
optics.
right.
It's like Bloomberg. You know, he wants to get on a box because he's too short.
I think that
Kind of like Chance. He's too short.
Hey, I'm happy with my shortness.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm not tall.
Chance's stature might be
Certainly not
short,
tall.
but his spirit is freaking huge.
Thanks, buddy.
No question about it.
Well, we watched that movie Zapped here on film. Remember, Al? That was one of those
It was
R-rated.
horrible. Horrible.
he's trying to just make Al lose his mind.
It is a horrible
Al's not
movie.
comfortable with this topic.
No, he made me sit through that stupid movie.
You
I mean,
were
it was
laughing.
just-
Scatman Crothers is in it.
Yeah.
Well, and that was sort of
LaWanda
our
Page?
point talking about some of these movies, Al, is that
Aunt
they
Esther?
are awful movies. But when you were 13 or 14 years old at the
It
time,
was
there was
For the
there
Gen
was-
Xer.
there was no other outlet for young men with a healthy curiosity other than to sit through these horrible movies on Showtime at like after midnight because your parents were asleep for just some 3-second glimpse of the female anatomy. And I find that all like very sort of like almost like
Innocent.
endearing and innocent now
Let's come back around.
when you think about how much is available to say
Yeah.
the 13-year-old man of today, or young man, I guess I should say, of today. And so talking about this stuff, it's not meaning to be like puerile or talk naughty or be nasty. To me, it is a very innocent time that's gone and will never come back.
No.
We are the real Stranger Things. I mean, the Gen Xers in this room. We live that.
Sure.
And the first R-rated movie I snuck into was Creep Show. I fought like hell to see that movie
Oh, I
with you.
still love
And then we
that
saw
movie.
Terminator in '84, the very first one.
Well, that movie sucks.
Underage.
It's terrible, but I love it.
Creep Show's
It just-
great.
It brings
the
back,
roaches. I bet Tom
Yeah,
likes
it brings
Creep Show.
back so
George
many
Romero.
memories.
George Romero wrote that, and he did Night of the Living Dead. You know, he started the zombie
I know
craze
you.
back in
I
60.
just didn't care for it.
Did you remember the scene with the roaches? With the
Yeah, it came up out of the sea.
Who's that actor?
E.G.
Thank you,
Marshall.
sir. E.G. Marshall.
Well, I also think, Al, like when Chance is talking about some of these movies, certainly years later, you're going to look at that movie through a different adult lens. But at the time, when, you know, I see Chance's Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, I love that
I'll walk
movie.
him out. Oh, continue, Dan.
You know,
I'm
I'm
going to walk Tom out.
You know, does it stand up now, like cinematically or acting wise? But
Tom's heading to work. Thanks for joining the show, and we hope
Sorry.
you're back next week, Tom.
Tom, it was a
Yes,
pleasure to,
All right,
I'll
Tom.
be back next week.
pleasure to meet you, my friend. Take care.
Pleasure to meet you too.
oh,
Call me later.
Y'all try to talk about something else besides, you know what?
You need
Call me
to-
later.
You need to talk to
Okay.
this young man.
Chance, pull the door too.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm just going to make sure.
Yeah, you can stay out if you want. Look, I love Chance to death, but he just gets carried away.
Gets a
sometimes.
little rambunctious.
he does. Chance has a cloud of chaos that surrounds him,
Yeah.
and it always has. You know, it's not a new.
It's actually what I love about him.
It's not a new thing.
It really is. It's exactly.
Well, you
what I
can't
love
help but
about him.
like the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's just like
He is a true original, and he is not afraid to be himself.
No
he-
question
he
about
is
it.
not.
Well,
No
you know,
question.
and now that we have, like, you know, the calmer contingent of the group in here, you know, why don't we just, like, you know, sign off on the Podblast and, you know, put this one into the kitty for.
Well, he wants to come back and say something.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, of
sure.
course he does.
Well, I
Of
know,
course he
but
does.
then we're gonna
And you know what?
We're gonna
That's
go over
fine.
time. We're gonna go over time. And
I'm
then-
just a guest. It's his show, so he should have a last word.
Yeah, I think the new credit, it should be like Nostalgic Podblast. Written by Chance Bartels, produced by Chance Bartels, directed by Chance Bartels, musical score by Chance Bartels, based on an idea of Chance Bartels, starring all Chance Bartels dancers.
I can't disagree with you there. Speak of the devil.
We were going to sign off without you. How about that?
Oh,
No, that's not true.
Hey,
We weren't going to do that to you.
It was just a thought.
Hey, Chance, you sit right there.
We weren't going to do that to you, buddy.
Okay. I'm going to grab another beer for the fellows. You want another beer?
For when in Rome, roam around, I guess.
One in a row.
Yeah.
See, now Chance has brought in like props and stuff.
I know what's
And
going on now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had your chance. You chose not to take it.
What's in there?
I don't know.
I guess we will
I'm very
find
curious.
out. Ow.
I'm very curious.
I have no idea.
To me, it looks like a random collection of stuff that I can't really piece together in a coherent way.
I guarantee
There's
you
a-
it is
there's
going
a-
to be a random
There's
collection
some
of stuff.
space 1999 things.
Oh, we're not using that.
There's a cassette tape here. Sounds of the 70s.
Al, you're putting your foot down there, buddy.
I guess this is some sort of, you know, computer
Oh, there you go.
plug
Yeah,
in
little
something.
flash drive.
flash drive. Yeah.
You're going through my stuff. You want a brew? Here, Brian.
Sure.
Whoever.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. What?
Okay. Hey,
What is he doing? What do you?
I don't know. I think we're gonna have like a totally second show coming here. The topic we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Only Chance knows.
Well.
But Ryan, I think what we need to do when Chance comes back in is
Yes.
I will jump over here to this chair because you've got a mic but no headphones. I've
Oh.
got Tom's headphones.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
set up. You're set up for this mic here. But
Well, there you go. Thinking. Good job.
something that I wasn't doing a whole lot of when I was 18. To come back to topic,
I mean,
I much more reacted from the hip.
I don't know if I do that much thinking these days, to be quite honest with you. But I try. All right.
I stopped the show right
Yeah,
there.
we're wrapping it up, right?
Well, because there's so much crap going on in here. I'm going to cut a lot of this out.
Well, hold on. We're ready. We're ready. Oh,
Because if you want to air this on the radio, it's not going to sound good.
Oh, yeah. Well,
this
we can chop that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's
Agreed.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
Here,
Don't
buddy.
move this
Yeah,
out the way.
at that point, Al, you
Put
could
that there.
probably go back to right when like Tom left.
I'm going to go back where Tom left. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And we're here we are.
We're not using
There's a cassette tape here. Sounds of the 70s.
For when in Rome, roam around, I guess.
One in Rome, roam around.
So he should have a last word.
Yeah, I think the new credit it should be like nostalgic Podblast. You know, and now that we have like the
You stay out if you want.
but
Hi, Tom. Tom's heading to work. Thanks for joining the show, and we hope you're back next week, Tom.
Tom, it's
Yes.
a pleasure.
I'll be back next week.
Pleasure to meet you, my friend. Take
Pleasure to
care.
meet you too.
oh,
Call me later.
Y'all try to talk about something else besides what?
What?
You need
Call me
to,
later.
You need to talk to
Okay.
this young man.
Call me later.
You need to talk to
Okay.
this young man.
Call me later.
You need to talk to
Okay,
this
sure.
young man.
So I want one of y'all to talk about what have we talked? There's so many we left out, but is my mic up too high?
Chance, you're hilarious.
All right.
Just do a finger, like when it's rolling. I'll see it on your screen.
Chance.
Yeah.
you do sound well. I'm trying to do levels, trying to find out
Okay.
where we're at.
Check.
Ryan?
Chickity,
Chickity, check.
chickity, check it out, man.
Can you guys hear yourself, huh?
Yeah, we're good.
Everything's good here.
I stand by.
All right, man. You're so right, Ryan. Being 18 is a very important year. I mean, for obvious reasons. And guys, what else do you remember about turning 18 that was special to you? I hated school myself, but I had a lot of memories outside of school.
I love going to school. I look forward to it.
But you graduated at 18, right? That's another.
Yeah.
That was my point. It's
I
18,
graduated at 18.
You're
but
out of school.
I sort of
even
graduated.
going back to elementary and when I was going to, we had elementary, junior high school, and high school. Now they call it middle school, I believe.
Yeah.
But I like school. I enjoy going.
I wish I could go do it over again.
I went to summer school one time to clear some subjects so I could graduate. I mean, my senior year in high school, I got out at noon every day because I went to summer school after the 11th grade and I think I took algebra to get it out of the way. And that way that was a class I could skip, and I got out of school early because of that.
Now, one thing I mentioned
worth it.
earlier
Yeah.
is that at 18, because you can, enter into adult contracts, you can rent an apartment. So at 18, I started having some of my first friends that, at that point, things were crappy at home or whatever, and they were able to have, their own apartments. What was your first, living alone outside of your parents' house? Where were you at, Al?
Well, I was in North Carolina, but what happened was my my father worked for the Atlantic Coastline, and they moved out of North Carolina, Wilmington, and moved down to Jacksonville, Florida. Well, he didn't particularly want to go to Florida, so he came to Georgia and became general manager of the Georgia Railroad, which is now Norfolk and Southern, I do believe. Anyway, and so my mom and dad moved to Atlanta with my younger brother because he's 4 years younger than me. And I stayed in Wilmington in our house. You know, there was no furniture there except for my bedroom furniture. They took everything.
That's all you needed back then.
I'll like turn the whole house into a studio. He was like, "This is my dream come true."
I had a washer and dryer, you know, but I lived there for a year, and then my parents says, "You got to find a place. We're putting the house up for sale." Ooh. And so I moved down to the beach with a buddy of mine in radio, and that was the first apartment. And we lived on the beach. It was $150 a month.
Wow. Can you believe that?
Now, you know, that same apartment goes for $1,200, $1,600 a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Chance, actually, we hadn't really been in contact for a while because, like we discussed earlier,
we got separated by our parents for getting in too much trouble.
And then you guys moved. You guys moved, and then you went to a different high school. But you actually came to my first apartment. And before that, my first friend that had an apartment, this guy Chris Walker, you actually showed up for like a New Year's Eve because we'd always hung out together on New Year's Eve.
I remember that's when I was involved with Becky Pitt for a while.
But yeah, so you actually did make a surprise appearance at the very first apartment I ever had. There was a Beau Rivage, right there on the river.
I remember
the Chattahoochee River,
Riverbend.
Riverbend.
No.
The
You're on the other side.
Yeah, it was called Beau Rivage at the time. It's probably
No, you're right.
But it was right by the river park.
Yeah, in Atlanta. Yep. Was it in Roswell or Marietta? What?
Well, yeah, it was right at the outskirts, I guess, of Roswell.
I bet you those places are super expensive now, huh? Or is it still even around? I haven't been.
I mean, it was pretty dumpy at the time. They rented to me.
Yeah. Well, I get that, but
so we had like two people listed on the rental agreement. I think there was probably 5 of us living there at one point where we turned the dining room into a bedroom.
Oh, of course.
Well, yeah, that's your first apartment. We had
any room's a bedroom if you put a mattress in it, right?
Yeah. There was this place, Australian Spa, that closed down, and one of my friends threw the big neon spa thing in the back of his truck.
Of course.
So this was like in our apartment for like the longest time, and eventually we were asked very politely that we could break our lease and leave.
What'd you say the rent was there?
Oh, wow. It was I want to say it was like 325, 350 in that.
I mean, that's so crazy.
In that zone. I mean, it was a lot of money though, because minimum wage was $4.25 at the time.
Yeah, true.
So when you put it in that perspective,
by the time you paid,
you had to have a roommate to make it for that kind of wage.
Well, I was delivering pizzas at the time, so we got tips and stuff like that. I mean, you just didn't.
Well, at least you had some food.
Yeah, exactly.
After you paid your rent, you couldn't buy food.
I want to introduce everyone real quick by name, because I don't think I've ever really mentioned our names that much. You just heard Danny Cochran. I've known him since I was 12. Our parents, our moms got us together because they both taught at Soap Creek Elementary School. Here I am bashing school, and my mom and sister
and my mom
are in the school system. Ryan's wife works in the school system, and Gwinnett. But anyway, man, it's just been a long time because our folks got us together. And then I met Ryan at Riverwood High when we moved, as you mentioned, to the Fulton County School System in Atlanta. But man, I just want to toast to everyone in this room, and Tom, who left as well, because as I've mentioned, we are on the radio. That's Danny Cochran, Tom Williams, who just left, Al Hardy, who's behind the board, and he and I started the show last June of 2019, and Ryan Settles. Well, and I like you as regular contributors,
Well, and I think, Chance, I like to, because you gave me the moniker, my first Podblast appearance, where I'm Danny Cochran, the comic book specialist.
Yeah.
So I think we need to like Ryan Settles, musical expert,
guru.
So,
I'm an expert at
He's the guru. No, and his nickname is Nar, and I'm Chance Bartels. So that's
Nar, guru of everything and nothing. So that way, like we've got some titles going for us.
That's right. That's right.
Siri on my cell phone calls him Chance Bartles.
Yeah,
I've had people Bartels. But I'm the resident BS artist because I'm an expert in nothing. I know a lot of like trivia. You know, I'd love to go on Jeopardy one day, but you know,
we never would know that since you talk too much.
Yeah, I talk when I'm asleep, and when I talk, I put people to sleep.
No, that's actually not true.
So Ryan, what was your first apartment? Your first getting out on your own?
Well, I got to be honest. I lived at home for. I didn't get out of my house until I think I was 24. But my first real place by myself without roommates was an apartment in Buckhead. That was only $650 a month.
In Buckhead?
In Buckhead.
Oh my God.
I mean, right on the outside. I mean, it wasn't.
Now
right
it's $6,000 a month.
Oh, I know. Forget about it. I couldn't.
Like that.
I wouldn't be able to afford it now. I mean, being an adult and with actually a decent job, I wouldn't be able to afford it. So,
Larry Hutchison, if you're out there, I thought I saw you earlier watching. Give us a call. Anybody. Now, this isn't for the radio folks because this will be pre-recorded when you hear this. But if you're right now listening or watching on our Facebook Live, if you're in our audience on February 9th, 2020. Give us a call, 678-615-7560. We want to ask you what your favorite memory is about being 18, turning 18.
Well, we need to say hi to our Facebook people. Al Gross is on there, a friend of mine. He's a radio guy. Kevin Steele, who works up at Kicks, he's on there.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
I like when
Alan Duncan, a Facebook friend. He's worked in radio and he's in television. And let's see, who else is on here?
Well, call in, guys. Let us know what we're doing right and what
Ron
we're doing
Goss
wrong.
joined in. Ron and I worked together at Kicks.
I work with him on movie sets. We did
right.
background work. I just worked as a lowly extra as I tried to work.
My friend John Busby in Denver. He's online. Let's see who else. Bucky Smith, who worked at.
What a great name, Bucky Smith.
Bucky Smith worked at 106.7 as a country DJ, and then now he works weekends over at the Fish.
When it was Y106, you mean?
Y106.
Yeah. WYY.
Let's see here. Michelle and
from high school. I know Michelle. I saw her at the high school reunion recently.
So we have a lot.
You still go to those things?
We have
I
a
was
lot of people
invited. I didn't go to the Riverwood one. I turned that one down and went to the Walton. Even though I had graduated.
I went to the
from another
first
school
10 year, and I was like, no, I'm never doing this again.
Well, explain. Please explain why did you feel
one.
uncomfortable or think it was a waste of time at your reunion?
At my first 10-year reunion, it seemed like there was a sort of divergent split of the people that already had like wives and children and had like much more adult lives than I had. So I guess I would have been 28 years old, you know.
Inferiority complex.
You know, well, no, not inferiority complex, but I had nothing in common with people talking about being married and their first children. And then you had all the people that were not there yet that were basically just going through the bar and pounding drinks. And I was like, I don't need to do this with people.
That was the guy I was.
That are really like, you're not my friends, because the people that I knew from that time frame that are my friends, I still know and are still my friends.
Do you remember the first time you got drunk?
Yes, very.
You know,
oh, this is a good story.
No, very, very, very clearly. I was waiting for a friend of mine, Chris Walker, to come pick me up at my parents' house. He had some errands or something to do, and I was really bored, and I was sitting around, and for some reason, I was like, I'm going to make myself a screwdriver. And then I grabbed some vodka and some orange juice. And so I drank that down. It was a nice sunny day. I was alone in the house. And I was like, wow, that was pretty good. So I made another one. And then all of a sudden, it was like this revelation where I'm like, dude, all I did was like drink a fluid and I feel this freaking awesome. This is the best thing ever.
That's how it starts.
And then my friend picked me up and we went on some errands. And I was just like, yeah, dude, like we need to get some vodka and some orange juice.
All right. When did you puke though, or did you not the first time?
No.
How about you, Ryan?
I puked very.
The first time
I
got drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could remember a specific incident. The first time, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful. I do remember that.
He kept going.
It was a party, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Man,
a kegger maybe?
Yeah, it was definitely. Remember how we used to always go to Athens and, you know, being in high school, going to Athens, like, whoa.
If someone had a keg, we were there.
We're hanging out with adults, man.
Take a beer.
We're talking about people that are like 22 and 23.
Well, I was 18, and when I turned 18, my friends, I was working in radio, actually, at 18, and they took me out to a bar called the Palm Room. And that's the first time I wasn't a
Wait,
drinker.
palm of your hand or a palm tree?
No, the palm room was a bar on the beach.
Okay.
And that was where I got really messed up.
Well, once again,
I did throw up.
I've
definitely thrown up.
We discussed there was a difference. Like for us, the drinking age was 21.
Yeah.
And once again, I do not endorse any underage drinking.
Mad mothers against drunk driving. Anyone out there?
Yes.
No.
I don't endorse that sort of behavior. But yes, I certainly engaged in some of that behavior. But it was fairly difficult to come across, beer and alcohol and stuff, because at least where I lived, it wasn't like, there was some dude on the corner like, hey man, you want to buy a fake ID? It seemed much easier for underage girls.
Oh, of course. Well, that's always going to be the case.
Yeah, well, yeah. But like, I even remember back with like Chance and stuff. I don't remember like there really being a lot of alcohol floating around the situation, because it was like really hard to come by. And there was only so much you could sneak from your parents without them discovering the theft.
Mm-hmm.
I had an older brother, but he's only 2 years older.
Right.
So when he was 21, I would have been 19.
Yeah.
And certainly that opened a door to be able to have a ready flow of alcohol when the parents were away. But
I have so many stories I'd love to tell, but I don't want to incriminate any of my friends talking about it. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
What's the statute of limitations on that, Ryan?
All right, I got something to say about the first time I got drunk, and I'm going to tease it right now because you'll know what I'm talking about. Bobbing Bob.
Yes.
All right, I'll be quick, but this is a good
chance. As your attorney, I advise you not to tell this story.
You're overruled. I got diarrhea of the mouth. I'm going to tell it.
Chance.
He does.
I will again advise you as your attorney to not tell this story.
I got to tell it. Here it is. All right. I've already mentioned my cousins in Boston. Well, my aunt, my mom's sister, and her husband owned property in Maine, the state of Maine. And it was on a pond. And they had all these cabins, and they had a little mini island. Okay. Well, some poor soul on the 4th of July, 1984, got drunk on a boat, a stranger, and drowned. He fell over. They didn't find the body. Ooh. So I had an older cousin named Jesse who was 18 at the time. That's how I know you could buy beer at 18 back in 84. He bought a bunch of beer, and he was with his buddy, and we were staying on the island, and the body had not been recovered. So what was big around those days? Friday the 13th movies, right? It was a lot like Jason.
Nice.
So there's a body out there in our pond, our family pond. And
did they ever find it?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Yeah. So we got drunk on the island with beer. So my cousin Jesse got me wasted on beer, and I was yelling. And it turns out your voice carries over a body of water, and all the adults heard me going, "Hey, this feels great. This is awesome." And so the next day, and I got sick as a dog. I threw up all over my sheets in my cabin when I got back to my cabin. But to get to the body, it was on, I want to say July 14th. The authorities said, "Can we use your dock? We found a body." And they dragged the body up. And my aunt wanted to kill me because I'm taking pictures with a Kodak camera of the dead body as they're wrapping it up. And we named him Bobbing Bob. And I drew pictures of him. This is so insensitive. I swear. I apologize, guys. This is against man and God. But I was taking pictures of my aunt's like, "Don't do that." And I said, "No, I got to show Danny back home. This is a dead body. I've never seen this." And he was all bloated in black and blue and purple. And this is a sad thing. The face on that dead body, it was like he was gasping for his last breath of life.
What he was doing, Jim.
And he's going, look for the camera. He was going,
he drowned.
What?
It's terrible. And I drew a picture of it and stuff, and I called him Bobby Bob.
Terrifying to me.
I was 13. I was 13 at the time.
Since you told this story, Chance, I will pick it up from there.
Is that why he was traumatized in
I
life?
still have pictures.
It's got to be, right?
I still have some of it. And back then, you had to go to a photo mat or an Eckerd drugstore to process the film. They
probably didn't think it was real. They probably didn't think it was real.
Go ahead.
So Chance, he gets back from being gone for 2 weeks or what it was.
I've never heard that story.
Oh, no. So he calls me up. And he's like, "Yeah, Dan, this guy drowned. And I got pictures. Like, you got to see him." And, Chance.
Of course.
You kind of never knew what was like BS or not. Or, is this a gag or what's going on here? So I was like, "Well, of course I will meet you, Chance." So where he lived, we weren't either one of us driving yet. So for where he lived and I lived, we just found okay, I'll meet you here. Start walking. And it was like late at night because we had to sneak out because we weren't supposed to be hanging out together. I can't imagine why. And so I meet Chance, and we're like underneath some streetlight somewhere, and he pulls out these pictures, and it's like for a real.
So you've seen these?
Oh yeah, no, and it's like right in my brain.
Like, I don't want to see them.
No, it's like in my brain where they're dragging this guy out, and
yeah, wow.
And Chance is showing me these, and seeing that it was for real, I was like, dude, Chance, you shouldn't be having these pictures. Like, and then he starts.
You thought I'd be haunted? And
yes. He was like, oh, it's Bobbing Bob. I mean, look, here's this cartoon I made about Bobbing Bob. I was like, dude, you were so gonna get haunted by the soul of this poor unfortunate dude. Yep. And I kind of freaked Chance out.
That's only one reason.
Because you've got a conscience.
Well, yeah.
But are you saying you don't?
But Chance eventually, I got him kind of freaked out about it. I was just
I'm a sissy. Actually, I cry at movies.
I was like, dude, Bobbing Bob's gonna come get you. Bobbing Bob is gonna come and get you, man.
Bobbing Bob. And that was the talk of the middle school when I got back from that summer.
Do you still have these pictures?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
No, the one where you really saw the body.
Yes,
it's for real.
Well, for his face.
I think what mom destroyed it for obvious reasons. It was the right thing to do. But there's one where you see the plastic wrap. Wow. They're wrapping this guy up like it's a Ziploc bag.
Wow.
Like a sandwich in a Ziploc bag.
Wow.
Anyway, oh Lord. But hey,
well, just to end it on a high note.
Well, we've got a slight correction. We've got a correction. And it's time. Corner. Well, wait for it. Correction corner. This is a sad one. This is very serious. The fire across the street. Now, our audience, Facebook Live viewers may have caught this because I held up the newspaper article about the fire. This is sad.
That was terrible.
This is sad. I just want to say, and this is very serious, that the dog across the street did pass away in that fire, and that's really, really sad.
It was really cool.
We thought it was saved at the time.
The firemen they had him on a little a gurney, I guess. They had
the dog.
Yeah, they had the oxygen on him. They were trying to save him, but he didn't make it.
And I didn't know that until I saw that article, and I hope the article's wrong. I hope the article's wrong. There's the headline. And then the other correction corner is Al likes to tease me and say, Chance, you're the only one on the show that makes mistakes. We're always doing a correction corner.
Chance is making mistakes.
Because it's something you said. Well, Al, I got to correct you from Podblast 17 with Bill Tush.
Oh, boy, what's that?
Because you claimed that Turner Field, as Don Sutton pronounces it, he never says the D. Turner Field. We're at Turner Field. You said that Georgia Tech is a minor correction, but you said that Georgia Tech bought Turner Field. It was Georgia State University.
Georgia Tech has their own coliseum. Yes, I know, but
so you're actually not perfect.
No, well, I don't think
that's just a minor mistake.
It is.
It's minor. Yours
teasing.
were much larger than that.
Yeah, saying Family Feud with Steve Harvey was recorded at the World Congress Center instead of the Atlantic Civic Center. Yeah, I'm
going to let you guys do this one out.
That's it. That's all. But I am sad about the dog, and I hope the dog really
done correction quarters many times.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one.
He's the king of it.
He's the king of it.
He's the king of.
You know why? Because I've talked too damn much.
Ryan.
And I don't think that's been a constant complaint with like sales managers and stuff I've had. Chance, think before you speak.
Hey,
always good advice.
Ryan, where I was scared there for a second, as Chance finishes up the Bobbing Bob story, and then starts talking about this unfortunately dead pet across the street. And so I was just waiting for him to be like, yeah, it's like,
I got pictures.
Right. It's flame broiled Fluffy, and
God.
like here's this cartoon I did.
Oh no.
The flame broiled Fluffy. And
Too soon.
I was just waiting for it.
And Lord.
No, dude, but when he started talking, I was like, this is gonna go really, really badly.
I'm so glad we're ending this on such a high note.
Full disclosure, everyone in this room are dog lovers and dog owners except for me.
Absolutely.
Because my dog died, and I'll get another one eventually.
Just got a new pup.
You don't need to get a dog.
3 days ago.
Well, I am a dog.
Oh, here we go. Hey, Ryan. High note.
Yes, please.
When you were 18, what was the family pet?
Oh, my dog Katie. Greatest dog ever.
I love
Katie.
Great question.
18, I had a golden retriever named Katie, and you remember the little black and white bulldog?
Mitzi. I love Mitzi.
Yes. I don't remember you guys having a dog.
Chip. The Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah, Chip is a good dog.
Remember that white Cocker Spaniel? We got him in.
Yeah,
I'm dating 1978, and he lived to 1993.
Okay.
Yeah, we love Chip.
Family dog. And then there's pets after that, and then I got into a little cat phase, and now I'm back to dogs.
I love cats too.
How
about you?
My first pet was a cat.
But like when you were a teenager.
I've got a bunny rabbit though now, named Hattie.
No, you don't.
Samantha takes care of him.
But anyway, my first
sheep.
pet was a cat. His name was Bandit.
Bandit
because he stayed outside, but he would go away for like 3 or 4 weeks. I wouldn't see him.
Yeah.
Then he'd come back all banged up. He'd get in cat fights. His ears are all messed up.
Tough guy.
And he would do that all the time. But he lived to be a ripe old age.
I have 3 cats and 2 dogs, so I'm just an animal lover, period. So.
Good for you, guys. That means you have a good heart. You know, people that hurt animals, like there's so many become serial killers.
I have a good
stuff.
heart. I have good intentions. I don't
You're a good guy, and you're a man of your
do
word.
Good things.
You're a man of your word. By
I
the
try
way,
to be.
Al, on a technical note, I'm looking at our Facebook Live, and I saw some antivirus stuff pop up, and I clicked it out because I hope this isn't dropping out to our audience watching.
He worries about the craziest things.
Well, we did have an issue.
What it is, it just pops up.
Okay.
They want you to renew McAfee or
It's a
whatever
money thing.
It's a money thing.
Yeah, it's just
How long have we gone, Al Hardy?
I think it's about that time too.
Yeah,
we have 7 minutes.
We have 7 minutes.
Oh,
Well, we're going to play a song, a great theme song. And this actually is a reorchestration.
I think it should end with the entirety Alice Cooper 18 song.
We can't because Tom left.
There's no other technology in this room.
Yeah. Well, we could go to YouTube and find it. I think it's a good idea. You know what? He'll throw it in post production.
Did we have chance to
No.
earlier?
No,
I want to do the 12 o'clock. Oh,
we'll use that, but I'll do it in post production.
Very good. Very
good. Post is good.
Post is great.
God bless.
So that means you have to come back and listen to the podcast to hear it.
There you go.
You won't hear it live on Facebook.
And I want to end with the theme that we talked about.
All right.
Can you put in somewhere appropriate 18 Alice Cooper, but I want that theme to play out the rest of the show.
It's what Chance Bartels was.
Is that not your favorite show, Al Hardy? Al Hardy.
Al, I told you.
Al Hardy.
It's
this theme
it's
I'm
what
talking
I
about.
feel like doing when the show's over, when I post it.
When this, right? But Al, would you not admit that the show I'm talking about is your favorite TV show of all time?
Duke it out.
No, I love the show. We're going to go outside.
Duke it out.
We're going to go out and fight in a few minutes.
Now let's wrap the show and take a group photo.
Audience, it's Nostalgic Podblast, written by Chance Bartels, directed by Chance Bartels, all roles acted by Chance Bartels, with the all Chance Bartels girls.
Rhymes with fart tells.
Yes.
Fart. I'm Chance Fart.
All proceeds go to the Chance Bartels Foundation.
All right, guys.
Like I said to you guys, my serious is Chance Bartles.
No, it's
Bartles.
That's a wine cooler. That's a
No,
Jesus.
Bartles,
Chance
Bartles
Bartles and James.
Chance
James.
Bartles is what she says, not Bartels. She says Bartles.
Yeah,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you always open the show with? As a question you ask, what do you always say?
Hey, what time is it?
Yeah, what time is it?
What time?
It's time to go.
It is. It's time to go.
Guys, listen to us on WTZA.net. WTZA.net in Atlanta. We're going to be on from 2 to 4 p.m. for now on Saturday. And we're going to be live to take your calls. We're going to do like intros that are live and then play our classic show until we run out. We're in a paradox. We're in a vortex because eventually we'll run out of new pre-recorded shows and we'll be all live for 2 hours. And we're the first pop culture show on radio in Atlanta. And I'm claiming that because it's the truth. And I'm proud of everyone in this room and Tom Williams as well. So congrats. Cheers to everybody.
I would like to say
we got some killer topics. People will steal the topics that we have in mind, but you all think of great ones like your favorite practical. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just save it. We've got so many. We're never going to run out of material.
Yeah, no.
It gets better, folks.
Not if Chance is around here, we won't run out of material. But anyway, thank you, Danny, for being here. And
Absolutely, Al.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, man. And congratulations to you guys. And I wish you
the live show.
the ultimate success.
Well, what will happen? You can come and be on the live show with us.
I would
Absolutely.
love it. I would absolutely
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
It'll be fun.
Thank you.
I want my bumper sticker that Tom.
Oh, I did too. I wanted.
You got 20 of them made up. We have
man.
We're going to get some more little stickers. They're really cute.
Yeah, I want
Nice.
one.
You should
definitely
do a
want one.
contest, a raffle one off to
That's an idea.
like,
We'll do that.
Yeah, it's like a caller or the first person. They're
really cool
Hey,
stickers.
you guys are so good with like weird trivia. You could I guess now people can just like Google stuff on their phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, you come up with
Yeah.
something. I'm sure you can come up with something and be like, for the 5th caller, you win this one of a kind, not really
They're great little stickers.
sticker.
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited.
definitely want
By
one.
the way, speaking of callers, thanks to all of our callers. Thanks to Mark. Thanks
Absolutely.
to Jamie.
Thanks for our watchers on Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a lot of people on Facebook.
Peace out, y'all.
And we'll talk again real soon.
Awesome.
Okay, bye.
All right, fellas.
All right,
What was the total length?
Let's see here.
I'll get that 90 because we're gonna put commercials in down the road. And I got a sponsor for the show on the hook.
Very good. Well, I'm so used to how like being about the time. So like when I saw we were hitting an hour, I was like,
yeah.
We want an hour and 27 minutes.
That's perfect. Well done, because we're gonna add live to make it all time out to 2 hours and commercials. So, thanks for coming, y'all.
I need a cigarette, Ryan.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, I'll go out there with y'all.
You guys go out there.
You smoke and I'll join you. Don't leave until I'll stay in here with Al.
Oh, I'm not leaving. I got it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you got to pick up some stuff.
And that's right, the board. And we're going to record our promo for later. I mean, after they leave the second show radio version promo for the game show, we'll do that later. Yeah. Are you cool with that, Al?
Yeah, let me say this.
We got to record a 30-second promo.
This is show number 18.
18. About turning 18. You see how I did that about numbers?
Let's see.
And I'm sorry, man. This mic was like overmodulated. I was talking.
That was fine. You were
pretty loud.
We're still.
Did you like the show?
We're still live. Tell our Facebook friends bye.
Hey, bye everybody. We'll see you next Sunday around 3:30, and we'll be on WTZA.net and 1010 AM Atlanta Radio and 102.1 FM Atlanta Radio. Saturday from 2 to 4 at 2 o'clock sharp, we'll be live. And then we'll play our best of game shows episode. And we're about to cut a promo for that. So bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. The show's growing.
Bye-bye.